This is Tyler Kettle, and this is the reading of In Space, Knowing Hair Clean. A trigger warning. This does talk about suicides. Heads up. All I remember from this point onward was floating to the wall of cuisine, taking out a pizza, shoving it into the food warmer. It felt like my body and mind had disconnected and taken leave of each other. As I waited for my pizza to be done, I thought of how I almost killed myself. Let's be honest, it wasn't a genuine suicide attempt, right? I didn't even leave a note. Next time I have to remember that. Not like anyone read it. They shouldn't be surprised, but it's not the first time that I thought about killing myself. I've considered jumping off bridges, taking my bike into a speeding truck, or flying across train tracks. Clearly, I've never moved past the consideration part, at least before today. Why? Was it because I reminded myself that my life was worth living? No, what? You're fucking crazy? Of course not. First off, I would never throw myself off a bridge. Ever since they put in those fences, jumping up bridges requires a great deal of body strength, which I lack. Secondly, I would never take my bike into a speeding truck. That'd be such a waste of a good bicycle. Lastly, I couldn't lie across train tracks. Imagine the poor soul who has to clean it up, whatever is left of me. You think there's more to it? No, that's it. That's all it is. But fine, you got me, Andrew. I'll be honest. The real reason I wouldn't do any of this is that I'm a fucking coward. Like, what if I survived jumping off a bridge or taking my bike into a truck? Then I would have broken bones, if I'm lucky, or I can end up paralyzed if I'm not that lucky. But I wouldn't be dead. I would just some guy who's now has to be taken care of, and everyone would know what I did. Couldn't live a life like that. I'd rather be dead. No, I need a painless death, such as pills or a tube going to a car. Let me die like I'm going to sleep. That's what I want. Like I never work with the nerve. Sorry, that's too much talk of suicide, isn't it? Yeah, I guess you're right. But let me ask you this. I bet when you were living in this world with your parents and still talking to me, I bet you thought of it. Why wouldn't you? It'd be weird if you had. Would you even think about it now? Living in your utopia, do you even remember the word? Sorry if I'm reminding you of it. I just wish I could live in that world with you. We could pick up where we left off. I'll let you borrow my pencils this time around. Perhaps if I shared your world, I'd forget that troublesome suicide word as well. That would be nice. I'll move on, but I just want you to know that you or anyone else who comes across these pages doesn't need to be concerned about me. Just because I write about it doesn't mean that I want to do it. It's like when people talk about getting your home gym. To tell you where they're going to put it, what weights they're going to get, and how many punching bags they want to put in. Pull the energy of a Joe Rogan fan in the midst of a midlife crisis. Yet you never see this gym show up. No matter how much time goes by, as is always going in tomorrow. So don't be worried. Okay, we should get back to it. After the piece was ready, I ate alone in front of the wall cuisine. I tried to shift my thoughts away from, well, bad thoughts, but I couldn't do it. These thoughts stayed with me like a piece of fruit stuck in my teeth, annoying and unwilling to leave. As I finished my lunch, I wondered if I should wander the ship, see if there's anything else to clean. I quickly decided against this. I already did what Steve asked. Why would I have gone any further? I think you and I both know that I'm not an exceeding expectations kind of guy. Rather, I prefer to meet them, and that's it. Why would I go any further? That's just wasted effort. But the suicidal thoughts still lingered, and I had no idea how to get rid of them. Not like there were any drugs or alcohol on the ship to drive them away. So I went for a run instead, right? Are you surprised? Well, if you must know, we have to do some sort of fitness every day. Turns out that no gravity is not the best for human bodies. I arrived in a small exercise room, which has barely enough space for the treadmill. Bungee cords and a harness are connected to the machine. A large screen is mounted in front of the treadmill. I reached out into my pocket and took out my phone and earphones. Hang on. Can I even call this device a phone? Not like I'm going to get service over here. But MP3 player seems so early 2000s. Fuck it. We'll just call it a phone. Put the earphones in and turned on Rage Against the Machines Testify. As Tom Morello's guitar vibrated through my ears, I strapped my body into the harness and connected it to the bungee cords. Instantly, I felt myself being pushed down, like gravity. Except not really, but it's as close as we're going to get on the CSS Douglas. So I'm still not quite used to this feeling. While I can feel the weight on my shoulders and my chest, there's a sense of lightness to my feet, and my hair waves behind me. It's odd. Have you ever experienced gravity and non-gravity at the same time? I don't recommend it. Ready to go, I pushed a few buttons on the computer screen where I set my pace to 4.1 kilometers and I made my incline 2 kilometers to 2%. Sometimes I'll drop it a little. However, today was not one of those days. I needed an actual run, not a soft jog. Slow run to allow my mind to wander. An actual run to force me to focus on the workout, sapping all my thinking energy. At least that's what I thought. To be honest, I needed a break from thinking about death, suicide, and on some other deeper level, I knew that my mind never would still find some way to think, to flip me with bad thought after bad thought. Hard to run when too much to keep those thoughts away. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe this time would be different. At least that's what I was thinking. I've been wrong before. You know this. Treadmill turned on and I began to run. It's always difficult to find your pace at the start of a run. Rather, it's hard to adjust to it. It's like your body is fighting every step, and you have to do what you can to push back, to force your body to accept it. Hang on, is that just me? Is that what it's like for you? Anyway, I know eventually I'll get through it. I'll make myself and my body adjust. I just have to keep running because I know that if I keep at it, I'll find my way to a sort of bliss. Although anxiety might muddle it, it is still bliss. And yeah, I have to run a lot to get there, but it's worth it. Even if I receive only fragments of calm, I'll still take that over the 24-hour horror show in my mind. Do I even know what genuine happiness is? Do you? Wait, of course you do. Sorry, such a stupid question. Shit, I'm getting deterred. Back to running. I kept up my steps and eventually my body accepted the pace. Allowing me to run hindered. And oddly, what had troubled me earlier did not play in my mind for a few moments. Then I felt my mind and body separate. I was oddly aware of my steps, yet my mind wandered. Thought I was okay. I mean, it's fine to wander, right? Unfortunately, my mind wandered into those dark and carnal parts of my mind, places that are too familiar, too painful. And like that, I was thinking of suicide, the one subject that I thought I was getting a break from. Wait, let me stop things here for a moment. Do you feel as if we talked about suicide enough? Or are you uncomfortable with me writing the word so many times? Would you prefer if I used another word for suicide? Something like unalived or self-deleted? Right. I guess these questions are moot. You can't actually answer me. And to be honest, I don't think I'll really use a different word for it. I'll keep using the right word for it. I don't like it when people apply different words to something just to try to make others and themselves feel better. Can we call things what they are instead of coming up with new, bizarre names for them? Suicide is suicide. Why call it anything different? They're just words. There's nothing to be afraid of. Thought about this as I ran. Then I thought about my own attempt. I thought about something for so long and to come within inches of actually doing it was terrifying. Thinking about it was scary enough. Actually attempting it was a whole different level. So on that treadmill, I resolved not to do that again. To remember that there is hope and that there is an end to this, whether that'll be death by asteroid or somehow returning to Earth remains to be seen. For now, I did not want to die. As the kilometers passed, I first noticed self to think about other things. Roxanne back on Earth. All the TV shows I'll have to get caught up on when I get back. Accidentally pushing Luke out of an airlock and wondering if that is worth it. Soon my running ended. I unhitched myself from the cords and the harness. Thus gravity released me and I felt lightness. But no gravity. This transition is always on as I still feel as if my feet should be on the ground, like on Earth. How does running on treadmill make me homesick? I put my phone and earphones away. I floated out of the room. Slowly, my body adjusted again to lack of gravity. It's time for a shower. Well, it's not really a shower. Here, let me show you, or I'll just tell you about it. After that, I went to the shower, or rather the wash yourself in the cloth room. Yeah, it's sponge baths up here. I don't think there's much to say about this. Do you want to know about my own body cleaning habits? I don't believe that this is the most riveting of stories. Although I will like to point out that as I washed my body in that little 4x4 room, I don't didn't think about suicide that much. At least that was a bonus. At least I was staying in the back of the mind, still knowing but much better than before. I guess what Brian can do on Earth. And after that, to be honest, if there's a lot left that is interesting. I had a quiet dinner. Marcus did show up, but he immediately left. I tried to go after him, but he clearly left my site. Figured that I'll end with B for now. Anyway, my apology still needed work. I wasn't even past the third line after, let's see, what was that?